All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're not digging through official documents or historical archives. Nope, we are dissecting a ghost story. But not just any ghost story, this is a modern legend, a digital campfire tale that has all the ingredients of a classic. We're going to break down the legend of the Aahat and figure out what makes it so darn creepy. And it all starts with this. You know, every good spooky story has that one little hook, that one local rumor. And for this one, it's not about what you see, it's about what you hear. The central mystery is a sound, the sound of footsteps. In the story, they call it the Aahat.
So where does all this go down? We're talking about a desolate, kind of forgotten village called Bairapur, and at the very heart of this village is the one place every great horror story needs, the creepy, old, abandoned mansion, or haveli. You know the type. It's a place that locals whisper about, but would never, ever go near.
And you know how these things always seem to start, right? It's never anything grand. It's usually something small, something like a dare. We meet a girl named Rina, and her friends, trying to be tough, dare her to prove she's not scared. Her mission? Go inside that terrifying haveli, all by herself. So she goes in, and yeah, it's spooky. Her flashlight is cutting through the darkness, but then things get real. She sees something that just shouldn't be possible, a second shadow on the wall, one that isn't hers. And then she hears it, that sound, the distinct sound of footsteps getting closer in the pitch black. She runs, obviously, but the most important lesson is already learned. This haunting doesn't just stay in the house, it's coming with her. Now this is where the story gets really clever, because it doesn't just stick with Rina. Her terrifying experience? That wasn't a one-off thing. It was just the first domino to fall. It was the start of this wave of fear that was about to crash over the entire village. And just look at this. This shows you how widespread the terror becomes. The story targets all different kinds of people to show that absolutely no one is safe. You've got Raghu the barber, who sees something with green eyes and just loses his mind. You've got Anirudh, the village skeptic, the guy who doesn't believe in anything until he hears a whisper right in his ear. Even Savita, a regular villager, is terrorized in her own home. Amar, the bus driver, picks up a passenger that isn't there and quits his job on the spot. You see the pattern? The horror is personal, it's varied, and you just can't escape it. But here's the thing. Even with all these different scary visions, green eyes, a woman in a sari, a phantom, every single one of these encounters is tied together by one thing. Before, during, or after, they all hear it. That same slow, deliberate sound of footsteps. It's a brilliant move, story-wise. It's not about what you're seeing. The real horror, the thing that connects everything, is what you hear. So at this point, the villagers are terrified, but you can only hide for so long, right? This is where the whole story shifts. The fear turns into something else, a need for answers. They realize they can't run from the Aahat. They have to face it, and that's how we get our team of investigators. And you get this classic, kind of motley crew coming together. First up, you've got Rina. She's the one who started this whole mess, our original victim. She's joined by Anirudh, the skeptic who is now a full-blown believer. And to complete the trio, we get DCP Arvind, a police officer who's been sent in to prove this is all just mass hysteria. He's supposed to be the voice of reason. But then, we get the moment that changes everything. Because even the cop, the one guy who's supposed to be immune to all this superstition, he experiences it. While he's checking out the haveli, he hears the footsteps. He feels a cold hand on his shoulder. And then a voice whispers a clue right to him. The truth is in the basement. Well, now it's not just a ghost story anymore. It's a case. Okay, so the cop is on board. The team is finally united, and they have one single goal. Get into that basement and find out what is causing this curse, once and for all. The story is leading us right into the heart of the darkness. This is it. This is the moment we've been building towards. All the whispers, all the shadows, all the terrifying footsteps, they have to lead somewhere. So what's the big secret? What's been buried in that haveli for 100 years? Down they go, into the cold, damp basement. And they don't just find some old bones or a diary. They come face to face with the ghost herself. A figure appears and tells them her name is Lalita and that she was once the mistress of this very haveli. She is the source of the Aahat. And her story is just tragic. It turns out her own husband, totally consumed by greed, buried her alive, right there in the basement where they're standing.
Can you imagine? Her last moments were spent just walking in the dark, her footsteps echoing until she finally died. And those final footsteps, filled with so much pain and rage, they never stopped. They became the curse. They became the Aahat.
Okay, so mystery solved, right? They know the ghost's name, they know why she's angry. The next logical step is to free her spirit, end the curse, and everybody lives happily ever after. Well, this is where the story takes its final, absolutely brutal turn. Their plan makes perfect sense, based on every ghost story you've ever heard. You find the body, you perform the final rites. In this case, they decide to just burn the whole Haveli to the ground, and that should set the spirit free. And for a little while, it actually seems to work. The village is quiet, the fear is gone. But here is the massive, fatal misunderstanding. The promise was, if you destroy the body and the place, the curse ends. The horrifying reality? Oh, it's so much worse. The Aahat was never just a ghost haunting a house. It's more like a virus. It's a sound that latches onto a person, and once you hear it, it never, ever leaves you.
And that final scene, man, it cuts right back to where we started, with Rina. Days after they supposedly won, she's just sitting in her room, safe and sound, far away from the burned-down mansion. And then, from the corner of her room, she hears it, that slow, familiar, terrifying sound of footsteps. They didn't end the curse, they just proved you can't.
In the end, this story isn't really about a haunted house. It's about a curse that spreads through sound. And the story's final, parting shot is the suggestion that now that you've heard the story, now that you know the sound, you've been exposed. So, I guess there's only one real question left, isn't there? When do you think you'll hear it?